Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that was real. Welcome back, Collectively Rooted.
As you just heard, we have a special guest, our friend and flute
Instructor.
Ah,
Samara
yes.
Quintero.
Yes, thank you for having me, ladies.
Of course. Well, thank you for coming and thank you
Of
for the beautiful
course.
intro. Can't beat that for sure. So you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're born, raised.
Okay, beautiful. So my name is Samara Quintero. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified hypnotherapist. I've been in practice since 2013, and I opened my own private practice in 2019. So I've been seeing clients for a while in my practice, specializing in working with adults and with trauma, inner child healing, self-esteem, anxiety, depression. My parents are Colombian. I'm first generation. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been in Fort Lauderdale since 2011.
Oh.
So I don't know when you're considered a native, but yeah, I think I might have crossed that threshold already.
Seriously.
Yeah. I came down here to do my master's and then I just never left.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know so many people that are not from here, from the South though, and they come to visit and they're like, we don't want to leave.
Yeah. It just started to flow organically. Like I graduated and then I did my internship and then a job came through and I just stayed. And it's just I haven't felt called to go anywhere else.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So there was this question that kept ringing. I was like, I wonder how she got into this, right? Because you started with the substance abuse.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
how does what struck you to be like, I'm doing that? Like, I'm helping people. Where did that, I guess, where was that born from?
Yeah. It's interesting looking back. I was never one of those people like my sister. She knew she always wanted to be a nurse since she was a little girl. But I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I just went to college and then I was like, all right. I was like, I'll do my bachelor's in psychology. Oh, I took AP psychology in high school. And I remember I was like, God, if I pass the AP exam, I'm just going to take this as a sign to go down this path. And it was something that interested me. So it came pretty easy. And so I passed the exam and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go do my 4 years. And so I did that. But even after I graduated, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I took a year off after I got my bachelor's And then I was working in collections. I was collecting money at Citibank during the housing crisis in 2008. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was crazy. And I remember I was just like, I can't do this the rest of my life. So I just started looking online and I found the marriage and family therapy program. Girl, I didn't know what marriage and family therapy was. I didn't even really realize what it was. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to follow that. And what I realized, at least in my path, it's always an unfolding that has happened more than I know where I'm going and I'm following that. So it's little, almost like steps or little breadcrumbs that begin to present themselves, and just allowing myself to be open and following that, then something else begins to unfold. So I came down to Fort Lauderdale to do the marriage and family program. I graduated in that. And even then I wasn't sure. I was like, all right, what do I do with this? Right. So I worked at Chrysalis for a while, which was, I forget it. It's not a nonprofit, but it's a community facility.
I used to do IT there.
Oh, no way. Yeah. And it was a fee-for-service therapy program, which basically means that you would drive to people's homes and do therapy in their houses. And I was working with kids at the time. And I just remember there was a point when I got into my car and I was looking at myself in the rearview mirror and I was like, I can't do this shit. I was like, I did not go to school for this. And so someone I think it was a colleague, they're like, oh, they're hiring at Banyan. It's a treatment center around here. And I was like, anything is going to be better than this. So I just took that job. And once I started working in substance abuse, so that kind of revealed another layer where I started working with that population. And what really fascinated me about that particular group was that there was an addressing of the symptoms. So there's a lot of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, do this worksheet, learn about your triggers, whatever. But what I realized was that there was something deeper that was driving the need to self-medicate. And so that's where I became interested in what is the root cause, why these people are looking to escape their suffering. What is causing their suffering? And how can I help them get to that root cause? And that's where I got interested in hypnotherapy. Because what I realized is that root cause, that trauma is in the body.
Yes.
And so while they're doing these groups on like relapse prevention, which is great, the relapse was crazy. The chances of people relapsing were so high because there wasn't a healing that was happening at the deeper subconscious level. At the core. And so once I learned about hypno, I did a 6-day training, but then I did a 2-year advanced clinical where we would meet every 3 months, the same cohort for 2 years. And it was retreat style. So we would learn.
When you retreat, you would stay there?
We would stay there for the weekend. And each time we would learn about a different theme. And we would learn how to do the practice, but then also practice on each other. So through that, I actually learned how to heal, but also got into a deep healing with myself through that.
I see.
Yeah. So I had the experience of going inwards and like really looking deep within myself at my own stuff.
Facing everything.
Exactly. And then learning how to conceptualize it and utilize it in my own practice with others. And so that's why I'm a strong believer in you can only take a client as far as you've gone yourself. Because if my nervous system isn't regulated, and if I can't hold the container, how am I going to be able to hold someone's shadow when I haven't faced my own?
Or even tell them to go ahead and tell them what to do when you don't even know what that's like.
Yeah, it's go in the basement, but I've never gone in the basement of my own house.
I agree.
Yeah, and especially if you're taking someone down the stairs of their basement and you haven't done your own work, what can start to happen is you get dysregulated in the room. And then the client obviously is going to feel that dysregulation. Right. It's all interconnected.
Have you noticed, and I'm speaking from experience, not myself, but I had an uncle who's recovered now, but I saw a lot of things with him and going to different treatments. Even in this county, you choose either jail or that. So of course the person, and I noticed that it's just, and I hate to say this, I don't know if it's still this way because this was probably 20 years ago, that it's just money. And it was so sad to watch him crumble. And it just, because back then I would always tell my mom, can you explain to me how is this helping him? Because I get he chose their wine because obviously it's better than jail, but there's no helping. Nobody's helping him. He eventually figured out how to get help, and I'm grateful for that. I don't want to say the system's fully messed up because I know there's people like you out there that are helping, but it's just so sad to watch. I also worked for a while as a paralegal in the criminal defense, and I knew how they pushed that. You don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are these people even being evaluated before they go in? Are they truly wanting to heal, or is it just your free ticket out of jail?
Well, there's that part too, right? So then there we're talking about two pieces. Right. Is the person ready and willing to be able to take responsibility for themselves? Are they at that place in their journey? And then there's the other aspect I hear you touching on, where is our Western medical healthcare system? And when we live in a capitalist society that prioritizes profit over health, then those are the consequences of that. Yeah. Right. So touching on both of those aspects. But to me, the way that because I think it could get really easy to get into a space of feeling powerless. Oh, this oppressive capitalist system that we live in, that they're obviously taking money at people's expense and to get into the anger of that. And I think that there is a place for that. And also, how can we utilize like that feeling of injustice, the lack of fairness in that? For me, it's to help me drive even deeper my mission.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
That, even more reason to do what we're doing. Right. And to really be able to show up from this space of holistic healing, right? That it's even though there is all this stuff, let's acknowledge it and hold it, and that it's real. That more than do I deepen in my prayer.
Yes.
Versus feeling victimized by the system.
Absolutely.
So then in that, if we can reframe it in that way, then our work becomes even more purposeful.
I heard you say you have a sister. Is it
two sisters?
Is it two? So it's three, three girls?
3 girls, yeah. God bless my father. He used to say, blessed and with all of the women.
How is being raised with 3
And you're the oldest.
You're the eldest.
I'm the oldest, yeah. I think it's interesting, even bringing in that topic of being the oldest, but then the additional layer of being first generation. Right. And so not only the responsibility of the firstborn, but also the responsibility of feeling that, wow, my parents made this journey over here. And then there's that expectation of now, what are you going to do with the sacrifice that we made? Right. And I used to feel burdened by that. Like I needed to live up to that expectation or else. But through my own path, again, shifting from feeling powerless or victimized by that story to really being able to see, you know what, it's an honor to be able to do the work that I'm doing and to, give that thanks to my parents for what they did and that my life can be a living ofrenda, a living offering to what maybe my ancestors didn't give a chance to do.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
This didn't come easy, y'all. Like this is I've done a lot of work to be able to say what I'm saying right now.
I want to touch up on with you. On the spiritual aspect, because not only is it emotional, the mental, you also work on your spiritual side.
Yes.
probably the most important. 'Cause
Totally.
you don't see what the beginning is. So if you want to speak on that,
Yeah.
that work that you did for yourself, and what you
Yes.
offer as well.
Yeah, yeah. And still do, you know. I'm just sharing with y'all what I've learned so far. But I'm still a student in so many ways. And I even tell the group I'm working with right now in my mentorship program, I let them know on every call, look, we're all walking each other home. I am in no way up here and you guys are down here, right? That we're all learning, and I'm coming from the deepest place of humility, sharing what I've learned on my path, and hope that it helps you along the way. And how can we help each other? But I was raised Catholic and always had an interest in understanding God. And is God real? I remember battling with that question a lot of how does God reveal himself, and dealing a lot with that, just almost a dissonance, feeling, okay, this is the church, but deep down inside feeling like something didn't quite fit. I remember during my communion, they make you do the, oh my gosh, I forget, like the confessional, the confession. And I remember thinking, wait, why do I need the intermediate between me and God? Who is this bodyguard that I got to give my words to? And then he's going to be, I'll be right back. Talks to God, comes back, and he's, okay, 10 Hail Marys, 3 Our Fathers, and you're in the clear, right? And I'm, wait, something didn't resonate exactly with me. Didn't mesh. Yeah. I remember, I think my first real experience with Creator, with God, was I was still in college, maybe 23, 24. I remember I was living in Sunrise actually with a couple of roommates. And they were like, you want to eat some shrooms tonight? And I was like, all right. And I remember we were making little sandwiches with the shrooms. And I remember thinking, God, if you're real, show me.
Girl. You were shown.
You were shown.
Was I?
You were shown.
I was shown. Yeah, I was shown. I think there's a difference between talking about how an avocado tastes and eating the avocado, right? And that was eating the avocado.
Oh my God.
I remember just in the journey, seeing everything so alive and realizing like God isn't this wrathful, angry energy up in the sky that I'm this sinner and I'm trying to earn my way back. What I realized was, wait, God is all around me. It's the frequent, everything is alive and it's all around me. And that was the beginning of that dismantling of the religious programming for me. But it took me many years before I actually sat again with los honguitos, with psilocybin. Yeah. I was 33 years old. So it was several years. And 2021. I remember I was just scrolling on Instagram and I saw this girl, Daniela Rioja. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And she was playing the flute. And there was something about her energy that I was like, oh my God, I want to know her. And I saw that she was offering a mushroom ceremony out in California. And I was just like,
I'm out.
you know what? I'm going to go. And I remember thinking, Jesus died at 33 years old. This is my Jesus year. I was like, I want to have transformational experience. And looking back now, I'm 37. I feel I was actually thinking about that on the drive over here. I felt that was a resurrection in a lot of ways, like a rebirth in a lot of ways. Because it was the first time I had traveled by myself across the country.
Girl, that's crazy.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know her on Instagram.
Right.
I didn't know anybody in that room.
You don't even know what they're about to give you.
I went by myself.
Driving.
I'm not driving. I flew.
Oh, okay.
No, I flew. I wasn't that crazy. No.
You drive 2 hours without like.
No.
You gotta take a break.
I flew. But I remember, because I was talking to my partner at the time, come with me. He's, no, I don't want to. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I used to hold myself back a lot. I used to feel if I didn't have someone with me, then I'd be like, no, you know, I would be scared to do things alone. So that calling was like, I'm just going to do the hero's journey. and listen to that breadcrumb.
Oh.
So that was a breadcrumb moment for me. And I went. It was one of the most transformative experiences of my life. Sitting with the medicine in a ceremonial context was what shifted that for me. And then later on that year, I sat with ayahuasca, and then that just opened up this realm, this whole study of learning from the plants and learning from the earth, and eventually going and dieting in the jungle. And I've done 2 diets down there and continuing to sit with the medicine. And through that path, realizing that the plants are just teaching me how to live in alignment with God, which really is living in alignment with myself. That when I'm living in alignment with me, then I'm living my dharma. I'm living my life's purpose. So that hunger, thirst that we feel as human beings, that I'm looking for something. Where is it? Like that. I think Gabor Mate calls it the hungry ghost. Right. The story of the Japanese ghosts, that they have the tiny little mouths and the big bellies, and they eat and they can never get full enough. That it's like we're all consuming and never feeling full enough. And what I was looking for, what the plants taught me, was that I was looking for myself. And once I realized that God is not out here, but he's here, but actually he's
Within
here.
you,
Actually, I am God.
Yes.
And when I'm living in alignment from my source, everything begins to align in my external world. But it's no es fácil, because then there's the principles that comes with, which is in my own learnings, what I've been learning from the abuelos is the good living. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
I think that the Lakota or the Dine call it the beauty way.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So the beauty way, and I'm just speaking from what I know, and in Cosmovision, they call it sumak kausai, the buen vivir, is learning to live from those principles of reciprocity. I give, I take. I give, I take. I ask for permission. I leave my ofrenda. I leave my prayer if I receive, right? To live in devotion, to live with respect for myself and for others. To live in humility, to live in reverence. So then it wasn't about the plants. The plants were just teaching me how to live a good life, and that it takes work to live those principles.
Yes.
And so what are the tools that help us to be able to remember to live in those principles? And the plants are their allies to help us to remember those principles.
Yeah, because tools would be allies that work for them.
Absolutely.
You want to use them, tools, you want to give them the respect.
To be in reciprocity with them, to be in relationship. Everything is a relationship. I was telling you guys in the flute lesson, you build a relationship with your flute. You don't just pick it up and say, give me your sound. That it's a language. But I have to be, if I want to ask, I also have to be able to receive. I have to be able to open to listen, which means being humble enough to know I don't got all the answers. And then having the courage to remember that it's when I hear the answer, having the courage and the faith to be, okay, I'm going to put it into practice. Right.
There was 2 things that you said. First of all, you shout out Gabor Mate, which I love him.
Yes.
I learned so much.
He's amazing.
Myself, being a child, being my parents, all the things and having children, which I don't have, but I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you're calling things, the foundations and things. But then you said something about 33. And you're 88 year? 88. Me too.
Oh, nice. Shout out to the 80s babies.
The Chinese Dragons. But when I always thought 33, either I'm going to die or I'm going to expand and grow. I'm going to something. So I always thought 33 also. So that's interesting because me too. About 33, there's something there, age 33. I had met the love of my life at 33. Anyway. So something to look at, people.
Yeah.
When you were at 33 or what you thought and things like that. I want to talk about the hypnotherapy.
Yes.
It's so interesting to me. I've always been scared, probably because of TV shows and things like that, and how a dentist or something. And I remember seeing
Not caso cerrado.
super fake, by the way. People who were like in it.
Yes.
As actors.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Just that scared me because I was in my teenage years, and it was not a dentist, but I think it was a therapist, and what he was, and it's fake, obviously, so we know it's fake. But still, things like that happen because we've heard other things where a therapist hypnotized women and had them do things. But then I've talked to people that been hypnotized. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no.
So I'm like, what is that going on? Because it came out in the news back when I used to watch the news in my teenage years. That was a thing. Someone that always scared me, but like, I would trust you because I already know you. I trust you. So how would you, for one, talk about it? And then also, no, that's not how that works. You're not completely brainwashed.
No. I always explain it to people. I normalize it as much as possible. It's actually not anything out of this world. All you're doing is relaxing your body. That's all you're doing. So you get into hypnotic states naturally. If you ever think about, have you guys ever been driving and then all of a sudden you're home and you didn't even realize how you got there?
Yes.
You're in a hypnotic state. Yeah, you're in a trance-like state. So if you think of our brain waves, so beta and alpha are, right now we're in beta brainwave. And so what happens is that we slow down the brain waves to theta, which is right before delta. So it's the brain wave, when you're right about to go to sleep, you're in that dreamy place. That's theta brainwave. That's the brainwave that you're in whenever you're meditating, whenever you're ecstatic dancing and you're just in the flow.
And not thinking. Basically,
and not thinking.
Correct. You've shut off your mind.
Exactly. When you're just in a relaxed state of mind, right? So even certain kinds of breaths that you can take can automatically move you down into a state of the hypnotic brainwave state, which is theta. So the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy is that in a hypnosis, you're in that brainwave, but there's essentially like a script that's being read to you. If you, for example, with smoking cessation, it's like a script that's being read. And since you're in theta brainwave, that's where your subconscious is. So because we're in a more relaxed place, our rational mind, our defenses are down, and we're able to access our subconscious, which is where if you think of a computer, it's where our deepest programming is.
Got it.
So when they're doing hypnosis and they're reading you a script, they're essentially reprogramming that part of the computer. In hypnotherapy, what we're doing is we're dropping into that relaxed place, but then I'm doing therapy with you in that hypnotic state. So then it's actually tailored to your particular experience versus just like a script that's being read. So I might ask you questions that we can just get right down to the root of it. For example, if you struggle with anxiety, when we get down to that relaxed place, might ask you, what was the most recent time that you felt that anxiety in your body? Oh, 3 days ago, I was in the car and where did you feel that feeling in the body? Oh, I felt it in my stomach. Sometimes people don't even know what they're feeling or where they're feeling it.
Yeah.
Right. So this is also a practice in learning how to find your feelings and being able to name them. So that's called raising insight and awareness, which is emotional intelligence.
I've been trying to work on that actually, and it's just so hard for me.
You'd be surprised. I'll be like, what are you feeling in a regular waking state? What was the feeling in the body when your wife told you that? I felt like she probably shouldn't have been saying that to me. And I'm like, okay, first, that's not a feeling.
No. Yeah.
Right. And then the way the English language is set up is that when we say, what did you feel? A lot of times we can answer that in so many different ways. I felt like we shouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Or I felt like, why are you bringing this up right now? And so those aren't emotions. So when we drop down into that relaxed space, we like cut all that crap out, essentially. And it's, what did you feel in your body when your wife said that to you in the living room in front of your whole family?
So, for instance, if they're like, oh, I felt it, actually physical areas in the body, for instance, shoulders or like my upper right here, is that trigger you, or not trigger you, but does that take you, okay, this is where this is coming from? Is it connected to something?
It could be.
Like healing. Okay.
It could be. So if they say, oh, when she said that to me, I felt humiliated. Where did you feel that humiliation? I felt it in my chest. And then it's okay, let's trace back. Where was the first time in your life that you felt that humiliation in your body? And when we're in that relaxed place, we also learn to be able to feel the feelings in a safe way. Because what can happen is if my nervous system is so dysregulated, that when I think about the humiliation of that moment, it could get so overwhelming to my nervous system that then I don't have the capacity to hold it. So when we're relaxed, then it's okay, I can feel it. My nervous system is more relaxed. So then I'm more able to hold the feeling and then trace it back. So then what you're teaching them is where it came from, what it is, where it is in the body. And that you have the capacity to confront it and hold it. Okay. And once you learn you can hold and feel your feelings, then I'm not using defense mechanisms as much anymore.
Massage therapy.
That's where I was going.
Yeah, because I was like, I already know. This is, you said earlier, people don't even know the body, what is where, because I'll say, like, what is it adult pain? They don't know. They're like, I don't even know what's coming. They don't know how to describe it. And it's sad because they're not aware of themselves. But I'm like, this is so cool. It goes hand in hand. I would love to have, in between clients, to go to you for that aspect because it's the root of the cause. Healing.
Absolutely.
And then come to me and be like, oh, yeah, so they told me it was here. And okay, let's work on that. Sometimes I recently had a physical therapist that I was working on. And thankfully, they know the body parts. And I was going into what you're talking about. Okay, perfect thing body parts. Let's go into your rhomboids. Let's take out. And it was dissecting and almost like, what is it called? The spiritual surgery in a way. Because they're doing it for themselves. And when you know that you can cure yourself, you can heal yourself, you don't really need anybody. We are here to help when you can't do it yourself.
Exactly.
So I think that it's very interesting, and you do this work. It's only so fast.
I know. And sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Alexis, tell me how it was. I don't know if fearful was the word you used. I don't know if I trust or feel comfortable with him. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, let's go in. I want to know. She's, girl, you're crazy. And I was like, no, it's
the curiosity in me. I will do it, but then the thing with me is trusting the person and going back to that. But now I'm like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah, and that's important when you're looking for a therapist or a healer in any capacity. Like, ask them, what work have you done? If you're going to ceremony, what lineage do you practice with? Do definitely vet and do that end of it so that you feel safe. The most important part, it doesn't even matter what the modality is or what approach, that you feel safe in the container that you're in, because you are at your most vulnerable. Right? You're like opening the most vulnerable parts of yourself. And we need to feel safe that we're being held in a way where we can allow for that to happen. So safety is number one in any healing container. At least that's my belief.
No, I've had recently something happen with me with a temazcal that me and my sister were going to go to this certain temazcal that I was just asking them questions, and it seems like ego got in the way or something, and I no longer felt safe. So my sister was like, I'm not going, but I was like, why is this person doing this? What did I say to offend them? I was just asking more because we're going, I'm trusting you, and it felt like I'm as an empath and coming from a place where I had to be very alert of how people were going to be around me. I can sense tones, even through text messages. I can sense your energy.
Me too.
I'm very
same, highly sensitive.
Yes, so I felt her tone, and I was like, "Whoa, hey, if I said something to offend you, I'm just." But no, so I shouldn't have gone. I need to experience it. So thankfully, it did. But that would have made me. I'm very once I did. I want to do something. I do it. I'm very go do it. But yeah, that wasn't cool where yeah, why did you feel offended if I asked questions? So to me, that would have been a red flag. Sister was like, I'm not doing it because she's very guarded. She's like, I'm not doing it. Why would they get like that? We're just asking simple little questions so we know what we're getting
Of
into.
course, yeah.
But it felt like if they're above and then you're coming here, so why are you even asking? You should be honored that you're coming here. I was like, no, you're human, chill out. This is I started doing other temazcales with Alrodas, which love her, like highly recommend going to.
I was just in a temazcal with her
Oh,
a couple of weeks ago.
makes it
Yeah,
so she's more safe here,
she's amazing.
And I wanted to try something because it was closer to me, and I was like, oh, let me see. And I went back. No, I'm sorry. I went once and then I went and I took a friend. And yeah, it didn't feel right after that second time. I was like, yeah, this is just not for me. And it's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I think about it, it's a buffet. There's so many different foods. They're all going to fill you up. Eat the one that feels right to you.
Yeah.
There's so many different flavors of stuff out there. So much stuff. Use your discernment. Tap into your intuition. Does this feel right for me? Does it not? Ask the questions. Notice if there is that defensiveness, and if it doesn't feel good for you, follow that feeling. I'm not for everybody. I don't want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Same.
And that's okay. And that's okay. Exactly.
For me, the fear is not what may or may not, what goes in at the mascot. I go how you are. I just need somebody to come with me. I just need somebody to come with me. Not because I'm afraid as myself to go and put myself out there like that. What if something happens to me? Who's going to know? They don't know. And I think right away, who's going to contact my husband? Who's going to contact my mom or somebody? Where's that person that can, if something happens to me, they're there. And I know where it comes from. I just don't know how to fix it. I know it comes from when I was younger, I was very ill. So I always needed that person, my mom, around me to make sure I'm okay. And if I wasn't, she was my savior then. And then when I got married, it was my husband. Because I didn't get better till about 12 years ago. So I know it comes from that, but I don't know how to. I try so hard to surpass it and it's fine, just go through it. But it's still in the back of my head. Be careful.
Yeah. And there's a balance with that. And if you recognize maybe there's a little girl part that's still there.
Yeah.
And that's also a lot of the work that I do with people. It's like, where do those younger parts of us get into the driver's seat? And then how can I recognize who is the wise woman and who is the little girl inside of me? Because those two parts feel very different.
They do. They do. But in the end, for certain things, when it comes to temazcales or plant medicine, those things that I know, I guess because of my health issues I've had, I don't want to even go near that. So I know I need it. I'm called to it. I've been called to it. And is somebody going to come with me though?
Maybe that's what you need at the beginning until you get comfortable.
Yeah.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah.
But that's my only fear. And that's mostly if it has anything to do, like I said, where I may have an issue or it may not have an issue. It's just in the back of my head. I'm always thinking, oh, but what if? But I'll do it one day. Somebody will come, or I just will go.
How you guys were saying with this podcast experience, how the doors just open naturally and you just have to walk through it.
Right.
I might reveal it in the same way.
Going back to your hypnotherapy, how is that type of healing, or is it, or that type of therapy? And going back to the addiction, is it a good therapy or healing for an addictive person?
Yeah, because the thing with the addiction is it's just a form of self-medication.
Right.
You could be addicted to other human beings. That's called codependency. You could be addicted to food. That could be anything. So what the hypno does is get down to the root of what is the external solution I've been looking for. What is the internal problem that I've been looking to heal by looking out here? So what the hypno does is to get down to the root of what you're medicating. So a lot of times there's common themes that will show up in human beings. For example, a lot of times with addiction, the root usually is a lack of self-worth.
Oh.
So when I don't love myself and I'm in self-loathing, and the suffering of that is so big that I just want to medicate myself. Again, this isn't for everyone, but that is a common theme that can show up sometimes, right? So then the medicine to that is, how can I begin to really love myself and find my sense of worth? And once I'm able to get stronger in that, then I don't have to medicate as much. So then the addiction almost falls away on its own versus attacking the addiction.
That's that right there.
It's shifting to, how can I develop a deeper sense of love with myself, which is essentially what we were talking about before.
Right.
How can I develop a deeper sense of connection with spirit? So in the 12-step program, they call addiction a spiritual malady, a spiritual illness.
Really?
That's why a lot of the 12-step work is based on spirituality.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, neither. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah. And if you think about the Western world, what we're really struggling with is spiritual illness.
Yes, yes.
Right? Because we have the clinical evidence-based stuff. We're very much up here. But what happens is that we're missing the spirit, the heart, the heart. So then that's what that thirst that people are longing for, the anxiety, the stress, the depression, the meaninglessness, the purposelessness is coming from that spiritual malady, the spiritual illness. And then that's where the addictions show up.
Shows up. And whatever
I can be
form.
addicted to my phone.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Addiction with
Yes.
absolutely everything.
Absolutely
Yeah.
everything.
We think, oh, it's the people in the treatment centers. No. We live in a consumerist environment. Think about what would happen if you went one day without your phone. Girl, I was going crazy in the jungle that first diet that I did.
How long is the dietas?
That dieta in particular was about, I think it was like around 10 days. But the whole experience is about 2 weeks. By getting there, acclimating, opening the diet, closing the diet, then you stay 2-3 more days to integrate, and then you come back. Yeah. But that first time, like, no phone, no access to the outside world, no electricity, no plumbing.
Oh, that's where I would.
It's rustic.
For me, it wouldn't be the phone. For me, it would be the plumbing.
For me, it's the mosquitoes. The plumbing.
The mosquitoes.
Bro, I could go anywhere.
The tarantulas.
No, not that. I'm thinking I need a shower.
Oh.
With the river water.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
beautiful.
okay.
They're rather the cool.
Yeah, the bucket.
river water.
It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, see, so I can go anywhere too. Just need it clean.
To me, it's the mosquito, like
The mosquitoes.
extra. Oops, sorry. The extra mosquito special because I feel spiders every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can deal with that. Mosquitoes, me itching and all that. No. And then with heat and itch. No.
You'll really face yourself and the uncomfortability.
Yeah. That's the problem.
I know. And for the family therapy, have you done, or is there a thing where hypnotherapy is done with a family, like a family therapy setting?
I specialize in individual therapy, so I don't do couples work or family work. I know that it is possible. What comes to mind, something similar is family constellations. Have you guys heard of that?
Yes, she had it
I've done
done.
that.
Okay.
And I've gone plenty of times.
Yeah, so as you guys know, you enter that field where things are just
Crazy.
felt.
Like,
That's a hypnotic
I
state.
we're gonna have somebody come and talk about it because I just want to know.
Yeah.
How, you have to be a medium. I feel like
Yeah, it's
the facilitator is a medium.
You're dropping into an altered state of consciousness, which is essentially what's happening in hypnotherapy, which is what happens in sound healing,
yeah,
which is what happens in plant ceremony. They're all different, like, conduits to the same place, right? You can listen different doors to the same place,
Yeah.
different doors to the divine.
the same road, just different doors.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're in that space of the constellation, you enter the field, and then that in a sense is like a family healing, a systemic healing in an altered state of consciousness.
Interesting. When I went, I didn't think I was in any state of consciousness or any of that. I just was like, I'm here and I'm here to receive and give, and I'm okay. But when you say that, I can see it now. I'm going back to the memory, and I can
The
see
fact that everybody gets into
your business.
well, they play a role.
They play a
role, yeah.
And they're able to pick it up without.
Right. That's what I was.
So,
That's what got me.
have you guys heard of Carl Jung?
No.
So he's a psychologist, right? He was a psychologist under Sigmund Freud, but he focused a lot on archetypal work. So he talked about different archetypes. So he's the one who talked a lot about the hero's journey, the hero within us, that calling that we all hear. And he talked about something called the collective unconscious, which is, if you think about it, talking about family constellations, there is a consciousness that we're all a part of. This is the web of life. When you drop from who you are as an individual, the ego, and drop into kind of that primordial space, we all exist within this one organism, which is the collective unconscious. And everything exists within that field. And there's ways to tap into that field. Right. So when you talk about constellations, what you're tapping into is the collective unconscious. And that's how you're able to feel someone's mother's energy that you had never even felt before. You don't even know who this person is. It lives within the collective unconscious. So, for example, if you're in a plant medicine ceremony and you start to tap into like this, I don't belong, or feeling like a lack of self-worth, that might be something that isn't yours. It might have been your great-grandmother's. It's an ancestral wound. When you drop into those altered states of consciousness, you access the collective unconscious where that wound lives. So then you're able to see, oh, it's not mine. This is my lineages.
Right.
And so when you heal it, that's why they say when you heal 7 generations behind you, 7 generations in front of you. Why? Because you're accessing the wound in the collective unconscious and you're healing, breaking the chain, breaking that cycle. Yeah. So then it's like a ripple. Everything is interconnected. It's the web of life. That's what the plants teach.
It's amazing, because that's where I've been noticing, like, this isn't mine. Like, this isn't mine.
You have to really know yourself to know that other things aren't yours.
That's not mine. This is not.
And that's why you enter those spaces. So with our allies, with our plants and different hypnotherapy, for example, that's when you can gain those deeper insights to really, with ayahuasca, you can literally see it. Right. For example, I struggled a lot with that not enoughness and a lot of guilt. And during my ceremonies, I realized that guilt was that Catholic por mi culpa, por mi gran culpa. That my fault, it's my fault, my great fault. We're trained in the church to say that. Yes. That is a program. And it's been said by me, by my mother, by my great-grandmother.
I'm getting goosebumps.
And then we're talking about epigenetics, how something that is so deeply ingrained into the gene then gets passed on subconsciously through the generations. So I realized I wasn't purging my guilt. I was purging the deep, and I could see the deep roots of that guilt through my entire lineage of lack of deserving, of this, I'm not enough, I'm bad, I'm so bad. But once I could see it wasn't mine and purge it, move it out of my body, then it creates that like space energetically. And my nervous system is so much more regulated.
See, the purging I haven't done yet, but I do identify it, and I can see
I feel
it's
like
not
just
mine.
off of you saying this, I'm like, oh, I could do this. Like,
yes.
I don't need the plan. I haven't done ayahuasca. I've done mushrooms and things like that, or
I've done none.
But for me, how I learn is through other people. Because I'm, I guess, outer, inner, I don't know, vision. And I'm like, oh, I just worked on it right now just by you saying that. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And a purge doesn't have to be you're vomiting in the jungle. A purge could be you hear some words and, oh my gosh, now I'm crying. Yeah. That's an energetic purge. Or just using your words. A lot of times in my hypno sessions, it's just being able to give words to the sadness that has never been spoken. That's been being held in the body for years. And through the energy of language is a purge. A breath is a purge. Laughter, yawning.
Oh, yes.
Is a purge.
That I know, the yawning. Yeah.
But once we can move it out, then Your container is just a little more calmer, a little more present, because I'm not working so hard to repress all that stuff in my body.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Yeah, thank you. That was, oh my.
I'm like, we just got less.
We just literally got lesson. No, seriously. With the lineage and everything, which there was questions in here I had for you about that. I don't want to forget to ask her about lineages and all that, but you answered it.
So how we met was at the solar.
Yes.
Did I ask you earlier? Oh yeah, that's how we met. Yes, girl.
Yeah, I think we were all there with her.
But then we heard your beautiful second voice, which is the breath. And I just gotta say, everybody was drawn back. But I immediately went up to you and I was like, do you offer lessons? Because I heard you were in front of them. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And then you spoke to Ariana, and then everybody was thinking the same. We were like, let's do it. Then you and Fabiola, they collaborated.
Yes.
And we did our first
lesson
with you. And this is something that you're now going to...
Hopefully, yeah. I'm just feeling into it and maybe doing a continuance of it. Maybe a level 2 for the level 1 girls and seeing if I've been getting some interest online for people that want to learn. So following the breadcrumbs, right? Yeah. And seeing where they lead.
My sister, every time we did sound healing with Triome or something like that, we would do markets a lot, selling the organizer.
Oh, nice.
And Triome wants us there and to just be in the market. So we're there. And every time I hear flute, I want to cry. And so that's very ancestral. And I feel, oh my God, you could add that to your practice if people are open to it. Because can you imagine you're doing your hypnotherapy and you start with the flute? And
yeah.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Because the breath goes in.
Right, through you.
But I just thought that as we were talking about the flow, that's super cool. You could add that to it.
It's a blending, which is like what I've been discovering and stepping deeper into is that the blending of the different medicines, that there's a place for both. How can we blend Western psychology and everything that it teaches us with the ancestral indigenous wisdom that through colonization we were disconnected from?
Correct.
And a lot of my work with the plants has been like a remembrance of my song, a remembrance of who I really am, and like of falling in love with that part of myself. Because through colonization, we were disconnected from that part of our identity.
And accepting it.
And owning it. And then learning to interweave it and integrate it. That they're just different healings. And when they're blended together, how can that infuse into something even more beautiful? And so then I believe in Quechua, they call it the Chacaluna, which is gente puente, bridge people. Yeah. So bridging what we know here in the West with the ancestral wisdom and knowledge.
Wow. So much knowledge.
I feel that's what you were touching on.
She's like, hold on, I gotta look.
I'm trying to not figure out how to put it together. There's so much as she's speaking, I'm trying to keep it so you can ask.
Let me know if I'm giving too much. Okay.
No, it's just because you say, and I'm like, yeah, that was in my head to ask her. That I didn't put it down, but
you're
it
an
just came up.
ocean of knowledge, by the way.
Absolutely.
I feel like,
oh, thank you.
This is just
perfect.
Scratching the surface of
that's exactly. I was going to go back to the Catholic thing with the lineage that you were speaking on. I don't know about you or if you, Alexa, but I had to go to Catholic school. And now that when you said that, I've always tried to figure out why I just could not sit at the during mass. I was a wreck for my first communion. I made sure everybody knew it. When I was told a confession, I refused and I would get in trouble. Smacked because I was refusing to go because I asked, why do I have to talk to this man? Exactly what you said, to get to God, for forgiveness. Why can't I just talk to God myself? And so I'm wondering if the lineage is, because I feel, because most of my family is, my mom's side is very Roman Catholic, santos and everything celebrated and the whole thing. And I was like why are we doing this type of person? And so now I'm understanding, I guess, the pains through when I was in Catholic school, still not connecting to any religion, could believe in God, but I just can't connect. And when you said it, because we're our own God, we're just one with him.
Mm.
And so I'm thinking when that happened to me in the Catholic school, I was just breaking that, because I was also feeling from the lineage side as to, what are you doing? This is not what we do. You're hurting us. So I would scream in there, I don't want to be here, and crying and screaming. And it was like, you would think I was in a psych ward or something, but I wasn't. I was in just school. But I was so defiant from it. And I couldn't understand at that age. When you said that, it really connected me to think this was probably lineage that, like you said, we're programmed. This is what they did for who knows how many years.
Yeah. It was a big part of the colonization. And how we were saying before about integrating and interweaving, that I think it's important to not demonize or villainize. The Catholic Church has its space, right? And then also something that I've stepped into is, how can I really see the beauty of, for example, the teachings of Jesus Christ? Christ for me is el curandero de los curanderos. He is el exorcista de los exorcistas. Like, he was holding such a high vibration, all the teachings about forgiveness that he's given us. He showed us how to walk the path. And to be able to hold him and really be in that connection with him, separate from what humanity has done. Same with the Virgin Mary. The archetype of, she is the divine mother. Her beautiful manto with the stars, right? That loving mother, nurturing energy of compassion that you can relax into the arms of the great mother. Same as Pachamama. It's like the same concepts. But to be able to take that beauty and interweave it. So in my altar, I have like my feather fan, and I have my Jesus candle there. That it doesn't have to be, oh, this is bad and this is good. This is the only way. And then this is the bad way, that we get into that dogmatic kind of thinking about things. And more so, like, how can we take what works? In the Catholic Church, they pray to different santos.
Yes.
And you'll see in different altars across the Americas, different santos with different plants, and everything becomes interesting. So it's like, how can we take the beauty and the teachings, right, and really learn from that, versus, I think, getting too lost in the sauce of the pain of what happened. I think it's important to acknowledge the pain. We were colonized. Yes. We were desecrated. Our plants were taken, raped, and pillaged. Look at what happened to tobacco. Coca. Beautiful Colombia.
Yes. Medicine.
All of the medicine in our land and the way it was raped and pillaged. Like, I get emotional thinking about it. But we can acknowledge and hold and see the suffering as a way to stand now and say, you know what? I'm reclaiming my medicine. And I do it to honor those that couldn't do it.
That's exactly it right there.
Versus getting lost in the, how could they do this too? And then we're back in the victimhood of the story. It is easy to get lost there and to feel justified. But then we live in the disempowerment that they wanted.
Exactly. You're giving them the power.
Exactly. So I put my hojita de coca y mi tabaquito on my altar as a way of reclaiming my magic, right? From a place of love. And I have my Virgencita and my Jesus and everybody. Let's all join. We got everybody at the party. That I am now reclaiming the power of my land.
Absolutely.
And that's my prayer. Deeply anchored into the magic of my land. That even though I wasn't born there, that's my medicine. And so it's cóndor, the guacamayo, las montañas, el arco iris de mi tierra. And then I go into my clinical practice and I weave it all in together.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful.
And that's what is actually called, so going back to Carl Jung, he talks about the individuation of self, which actually means integrating all the parts of who we are. That's where our healing is. When there are parts of us that have been disowned or repressed, I don't want to look at that part of myself, right? That when I see that part and own it, I just become more whole. So by reclaiming my ancestral lineage, right, and reclaiming my medicine, then I just become more of me.
Yes.
Who I've always been.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I lost her.
Yeah. They put confusion in you.
They put confusion in me.
They put confusion in you.
They disconnected me. But I didn't know. But all of my life I felt I don't belong.
Same.
My mother, we say Santa Rosa, in her birth, not her birth chart, don't give me astrology, but like in her birth papers, it says something else, or it says Santa Rosa, but her mom told her it was something else. So my mom lives in confusion. She's always asking me, my sister, for should I get this or should I get that? She's not rooted. She doesn't know if her actual birthday is her birthday, her birth time. We always ask, well, try to find out from her. I wasn't know anything because she had so many kids. So my mom is always living in confusion, and that's where I try to get back to, and I feel not, I don't want to say bad and sorry, but yeah, I feel for her because I'm like, you don't know your things. At least me, I could go back because I ask her all the things and it helps me. But then I get more grounded, I get more confident. This is who I am. But with her, I still don't know who I am. Like, I was still asking for advice, still asking, and things like that. And it saddens me. And you know how many people are that? They don't know, or they weren't told, or they're confused. And history repeats itself, because if you look at all things that are now coming out thanks to the internet, they confused us by saying, what is the earth? Is it really flat? Is it really a sphere? Or is it, because now they're saying that it's not a sphere, that it's just come out circle, but not in its place, or is it flat, or whatever. So it's confusing us of like, what is not.
But going back to your mother, Alexa, and I can feel that deeply because that was me probably until this year, mid last year, which brought me to the family constellation. Who am I? Where do I come from? I never knew. If you look at my mom, she's cute, blonde, whatever, and I look at my dad, he's me. But I ask, and nobody knows. Everybody just, I guess the family side, hush. We don't talk about certain things for whatever reason. And I was searching so many years for the reason so I can understand who I came from, that I finally said, you know what? What comes to me is who I am. That's what I'm going to go with. So even if she's confused, and I'm going to say birthdays, I don't know how old your mom is, but I know for sure in my country, my mom and some of my cousins too, depending where they were born, they weren't taken. It's not like here. Now it is, but back then, here's your birth certificate, and the nurse signed, the doctor signed the time and day. Most of them were born by midwives at home. But I just would say to tell her, whatever you feel is who you are. Stop looking. It's in you. Like you said, it's in us.
But as she's getting older, because they have no idea. You know how mean they are. As she's getting older, she's just, what is that? You can teach an old dog.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
She is pretty open-minded, but then, like, she always goes back to her old one. So it's like,
I just feel bad because that was me for so many years, just trying to find, and that can drive you crazy. I was literally angry at a lot of people because I wasn't getting my answers and still confused. And then I just was like, if I feel it, if it comes to me, most of people I know is like, why do you connect to Pachamama? You're not even from that lineage. I was like, that's what I can connect with right now. That's what I feel. I don't know who my lineage connected with. Earth is earth, whatever. There's a mother, you know? And that's what I'm connecting with. And I'm deciding to call it right now that. And if it doesn't, it's okay. It doesn't disconnect me from the bloodline I came from. It's just, I don't know, and it's okay.
Yeah. And what a gift it is that you are able to say what you just said now, that I'm rooted, I know who I am. What a gift it is to your lineage that you're able to say that, and that you're doing it for the woman before you that wasn't able to find that answer in her lifetime.
Your mother. Yeah.
Your mother. So in a sense, then your healing is deeper than just your life. You do it for the women before you that couldn't find the answer. And that's the ancestral healing. And so then it's, wow, what a gift that I get to be the one that finds the answers for the women of my lineage when they couldn't find it for whatever reason in their lifetime.
Right.
And just feel your heart as you connect with that.
Yeah,
And you'll feel the truth when it resonates.
yeah. Yeah, you'll feel it. For sure you'll feel it, or she'll feel it if she ever gets to that point. But it's like you said, the heart. That's where I'm feeling it in my heart. So this has to be true. Like, this is not lying to me.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not coming from me. This is, and I think that's why it's important to kind of set the prayer at the beginning. It's not us talking right now, that we're channeling
Right.
from that collective unconscious, the divine spirit, the thing that is beyond our egoic understanding, but that the heart recognizes. That when I'm looking at you and saying those words, I can feel your heart opening as my heart opens to say it to you.
Thank you.
And that's the medicine of community.
Yes. Yes. That's what I love.
That's why we need each other, y'all.
Yes,
Yeah.
So we need each
absolutely.
other.
Absolutely.
Thank you for going and continuing to go on your self-healing journey on this path for not only for yourself, but the ripple effects for everybody around you.
Yeah. And your lineage.
Yeah.
And thankfully that we have the internet, because I used to be like, oh, the internet is. I learned so much from the internet, where people who are not around you can actually. You have a website with, and people from outside of Florida reach you?
Yes.
And have like a consultation? I don't know.
Yeah. So right now, I'm a licensed clinician in Florida, but I also offer coaching outside, where in my coaching practice, then people outside of Florida can reach me.
Okay. I think that's.
Yeah, it's like a logistical thing, like
Yeah,
with
I know.
licensed
It's coaching.
therapy.
We say it's coaching, but it's
Yeah. Well, the coaching is nice because then so my coaching is the wise woman's path. So that's where I can tap more into this like juiciness that's like outside of the logistics of like the book. Exactly. And having to keep with the protocol of the Western practice. But again, there's space for both, and people are at different points in their lives. Like how you're saying, I'm scared of the hypno. Some people are like, I'm scared of therapy.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know about that God stuff. They're just not ready yet. So start where you feel comfortable.
But you are ready, yeah.
And then you get in the pool. You're like at the stairs, and then it's, maybe I could go to 2 feet. Maybe I could go to 3 feet. Next thing you know, you're in the deep end, and you're like, oh shit, how did I get here? I'm stronger than I thought I was.
I do have one thing, because this is it connects to me in so many ways from my family. I'm going to read it so I don't misspeak it as a question for you. So many people listening have either been helped by therapy or, like me, raised to not believe in it at all. How do you speak to someone who's hesitant or even against therapy? So I'm not against it. I was just, like you said, programmed so much by my
Hispanic families. Don't feel.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Depression.
We don't do that. And I still have friends of mine until
Ponte a limpiar.
yes.
You're depressed, ponte a limpiar.
Yes. That's exactly.
Movement does help. But yes, there's deeper things than that.
And it's because my daughter, mainly Angelica, you're so unsensitive to that. And I'm like, I don't mean to be. It's just how I was raised, and we just fixed it. You don't go talk to somebody. My mom would say, go talk to the priest. And of course I wasn't going to go talk to him. But I would, my daughter, who is this generation, you have to understand it is a thing. You can go talk to people. So it's, what do you say to those people like me, which I still to this day, I will go to therapy, but I may not say everything at therapy because I was told
Do you feel
that.
judged or?
No, it's just that I'm split. Like half of me is and the other, most of my half that says don't right now. Back then it was just because that's what my parents told me not to. You just don't. And like you said, go outside, go do something, it'll pass.
Yeah.
And who cares? But now I'm more split too, because of friends and families that I've come across that have had mental health issues or have them, the way they've been treated for the worse. It's gotten worse with the medication.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
By psychiatrists and stuff. So that other half of me is, see what I mean? And so what do you say to people like me? Either split or the ones fully against it? Because I do have friends that are like, no.
Yeah. I would get curious. What's the reason you feel so no about this? What is that about? What is the resistance about? Is there a part of you that's afraid? Is Usually resistance is fear, but it might not be on the surface. So that's where becoming curious with yourself and just observing what is the part of me that is, oh, not that. What comes up for me at the thought of revealing my deeper self and being witnessed by someone? What comes up around that? Right? Because really what it is, it's like you're exposing your heart. You're exposing the deepest, softest layers of yourself and allowing yourself to be witnessed in that. So then it's not going to be a solid answer for everybody, but I think it would be a good opportunity for curiosity to just notice what comes up for me at the thought of revealing myself in that way to someone else, and just notice what comes up.
See, for me, like I said, if I need it, of course, I'm open to it now more. But when my kids were younger and if I had the school saying, oh, one of them needs to go see somebody or whatnot, because of the way I was raised, they're going to label your kids in the school and forget it. They're not going to be nobody here in the United States.
So they're going to label them what?
Whatever it is. File is going to be, oh, this fulanita has this and that. So,
And what's that going to mean?
For my mom or my family, it was always, no, you don't want people to know that.
Because if they know that, what's that going to mean?
I don't know. I never got that answer.
If you follow it all the way down right now. So it's Anita's going to have this thing on her.
Qué pena.
Qué pena.
Qué pena.
Embarrassment. You know what that is? Shame.
Interesting. Wow.
So if we think about shame, if you think about emotions as frequencies, love is like the highest vibration, gratitude. And if we drop all the way down to the basement, shame. In 12-step program, they say shame is the number one offender. Why? Because shame is that deep, dark, corrosive, cancerous energy that says, you are not enough. You're disgusting. You're bad. Look at you. Look at how everyone else look. They're all successful. You're not. Here you go again, making the same mistake. When are you going to learn? You know that voice?
Yeah. That voice no longer lives in this body. Although
she still shows up for me all the time.
She pops up.
Yeah.
Just last week I did have one of those episodes where I was crying and I was like,
she does pop up.
That's it. So when you were talking about secrets in your family, secrets are illness. It's shame.
And shame.
What are they gonna think?
Exactly. And
Qué pena.
Yeah. Don't forget it. When I was little, you don't. What are you wearing? Because Fulanita's going to tell this one and that one, and then you're the whatever of the street.
That's a very common one in the Latino culture. ¿Qué van a pensar?
Yeah.
So, and present.
Yeah. Nothing that you really are.
It takes a lot of energy to. So when we're talking about going to therapy, that means I got to open the door.
Yeah.
And show my shame. That means I got to go in the basement.
Yeah.
No, mejor me quedo aquí en la sala.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can see that.
But what happens? You stay sick.
Yes. And stuck.
And victimized. Why me? This is the novela. That's the novela. ¿Por qué? María del Barrio. Oh my God, I keep finding the same man over and over again.
Yeah.
When are things going to change for me? Yeah. And then we stay in our victimhood. So when we're talking about people who are resistant to therapy, really it's what's the resistance at facing yourself? That's all you're doing. Because shame, it's not easy to face. That's why when people are doing shadow work, very important to have a guide because you could get lost in the shadows.
Wow.
The sickness to me struck a chord of why you were always sick because of the shame. Because it's not just a mental illness.
No, it's physical.
It's going to manifest into actual.
That's called somaticizing. We somaticize our pain. And actually, Hispanic population, we somaticize our pain more than any other race.
Yes. I learned that my surgeon that healed me. Thank you, Dr. Burke, is the one.
Shout out.
Yes. He said, I don't even think he's at Jackson Memorial though. He said something one day when I was over there trying to get evaluated for surgery, and I was like, that's it. That's why I had all this. And then I was angry because why in the world did nobody show me this before? I could have, because I've been sick since I was 8.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Girl, you know how much shame I've had to heal.
but now I'm like, I don't care, whatever.
When we talk about it, we realize we're not alone. Because what shame says, you're the only one. So you better hide. Oof, don't show that. No, not that part. But when we bring it to the light, it's,
Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you think of bringing something from the lowest vibration, and when we're exposing it to the light, it heals. So then I don't have to carry that weight in my body anymore. And I don't have to somaticize it anymore.
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Dispenza does a lot of that work. Are you guys familiar with him? Yeah. He has a really great book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And so in his meditations, he talks about people that have healed cancers, all types of eyesight. Physical issues, eyesight. Yeah. Just through the meditative work.
Wow.
So I have 2 doctors tell me 2 different things, either torn MCL or the meniscus. And thankfully, they couldn't make up what it was because I'm like, oh, it's not torn. And I was listening. It was Dr. Joe Dispenza just came into my field, and I started I was, I'm going to just heal myself through his book, through his podcast, everything. There's nothing torn. We're good. Because a tear is a tear. A tear needs surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it's healed.
Yeah, when we can heal things at the quantum level, because that's healing at the energetic level. That's what we're saying, with addiction, with physical illness, sometimes those things just fall away on their own because we're just not vibrating at that frequency anymore.
Yep, absolutely.
I tell a lot of my clients, once you heal this, then you're going to stop attracting a certain kind of person in your life because you don't need to replay that drama, that novela out anymore. You healed and found the lesson, and now you can calibrate to that next level of worth.
Yes, that's wow. Yeah. It's crazy that you said that because once I've healed spiritually, even though I semi-healed because I got the surgery and I was still facing consequences, but once I healed spiritually, it just all fell out. And then a lot of people fell out too.
Yeah, that happens too. That happens
Lots of people fell out just fast. And I was like, whoa, what? And at first, this is sad. Where are my people? It's okay. We can do this. We can do this.
Yeah. I went through the same thing of feeling I'm embarking on this path and noticing how just certain people, it wasn't in alignment anymore. Right. And then there was a natural falling away. But what I discovered was that as those relationships fell away, actually new relationships that were way more in alignment just revealed themselves.
Yes.
And I think that's how spirit just takes care of us. That the more you walk in alignment, then the more that actually now I have friendships that feel nourishing versus that little girl inside of me that really wanted to belong and would do anything to just have friendships. Right. So, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear about the wise woman's path. Yes, part 2.
I do have one more thing though.
Yes.
If someone feels stuck, whether they're family relationships, personal struggles, or even with skepticism about therapy, what's one small step that they can take to begin healing?
I would say if they're feeling stuck and they just want to take one small step, it's almost, what is a place that feels good for you, that feels safe, that feels like a baby, not too dysregulating. So it's maybe I just start with going to a sound bath. Maybe I just start with taking a nature walk every morning, right? Connecting with the earth. Maybe I start by putting my feet on the ground, taking a couple breaths in the morning and building that calibration, that nervous system regulation. And then it's okay, I start going to sound healing, and then maybe someone tells me about a cacao ceremony. And that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll try that. And it'll slowly start to build. But I would say tap into your intuition, and whatever it is that feels doable, feasible, not too far out there, start there. The least that it dysregulates your nervous system, the better. What we want is to just feel safe and that it's, a walk? Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Good. Start there. You might not want to be in the jungle dieting right away. Like, I had to build up to that, right?
Did you mention that?
Yeah, I built up to it. Right?
Yeah.
So it's if you're feeling stuck, just start with the little things that feel so doable. No big deal. Like babies. We're like babies.
Yeah.
First you crawl, then you take a couple steps, you might fall,
Yeah.
then you start walking,
And then you're ready.
then you're running. And having compassion with yourself.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for this.
Of course.
I know it's going to help a lot of people. I can feel it.
Oh, that's my vision. That's my prayer.
Stay tuned, for part 2. For the wise women's path.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey.